Hello, welcome back to the channel. This channel where we focus on motorcycle safety, mostly slow speed operations. This morning, Saturday morning, nice sunny day, somewhat chilly, but it feels good actually. We're about to do a practice session with a fellow rider from the local area here in Melissa, Texas. Gonna do a run through a couple of exercises and we'll go from there. Well, let me show you. Let me walk you through this one. It's probably better at this angle, so you actually have the angle of approach. Okay. People call those different names, but the important part about it is you're pretending like you're on some sort of a surface that's loose or maybe not necessarily slippery, but loose mostly. And because you're on loose, like gravel is a great example. Actually, I must say this. I've talked to a few people that actually insist they will never ride on gravel. It's possible.
I hate it.
Just like a month ago, I was heading up to their place with my bike on 121. All asphalt all the way, right? There was a major accident up there.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't even have any choices. When I was going along 121, there was no way to turn around. The cops directed you off the road onto the gravel. There was nothing I could do. So I'm like, man, I am so glad I practiced this gravel stuff. Just saying.
I've done it. We were on a trip out to, I guess it was Georgia, and we were coming out of Hot Springs, and there was like, I don't know, it seemed like 20 miles of gravel.
Yeah.
And it was, my brother was on a FJR, and at the time I was on a concourse, a C10 concourse, one of the older models, but it's like really sits high. It's a real high center of gravity. I never really was comfortable on that bike. So, we're just like slipping and sliding on this gravel. It just goes forever. And then Tom came up with the joke of, why they put gravel down? Because they ran out of banana peels. Because that's how slick it was.
Takes me back to my Nintendo days.
Yeah.
Banana peel on the road. Anyway.
Yeah, it was
That's a long time ago. Okay, yeah, so the whole point of this is you're pretending like you're on some sort of a loose surface. We'll just call it gravel. It's the easiest thing to say. Doesn't happen often, but what does it take but once to get on a surface that you don't know how you're working, and all of a sudden you can't ride it? That sucks. So the whole point of this is that you're going slow. You'll be riding slow, like maybe, I would say you probably wouldn't get over 2 to 3 miles an hour. I mean, you probably want to go faster than 1, but the point is you're going slow enough where when you turn, you don't have to do one very important thing that everybody thinks you have to do when you turn. Can you guess what that is?
Well, I don't know how much I want to lean, but...
That's exactly what it is. You do not want to lean.
That would be kind of intuitive, but,
Well, for sure, but it's kind of amazing how everybody everywhere that I know of talks about how you have to lean when you turn. And granted, there is a little bit of a lean involved, because if you're straight up and down and you turn your handlebars, well, if you're straight up and down, you're going to fall over. Yeah. Because your bike turns this way and now you're going to fall over. But I think that most people say don't lean on this turn in an effort to emphasize you shouldn't really feel like you're leaning. If you feel like you're leaning, you're going too fast. So anyway, you'll approach this, and we can go. You can go whichever way you want. What I'm probably going to do is set up the camera on one side so you can see how you're turning and how you're turning into this, how you're moving into the turn. So we'll just pick one way at a time. That's the easiest way. So maybe we'll go left first. But regardless, as you come up to this, actually, I'll back up. I've now explained why we're doing this, and I'll explain what we're going to do. And there's usually a few steps involved in this, but because of your cool DCT bike, that the whole giving the throttle a little bit of power, not necessary. So really, we're going to simplify this. When you come up to this area, probably usually right about here, I give myself maybe a second or more, or right around a second before I turn. At that point in time, I turn my head, because you always look where you want to go, right? I'm pretty sure you've heard that many, many times.
Many times.
Don't look where you're going, look where you want to go. Okay, turn your head, and then as soon as you get up to these cones, turn your handlebars, or maybe just a little before. Actually, probably at this speed, we're probably going to want to do it right about when you turn and get to these cones. Because then, as you turn, you don't want to go outside this. You don't want to go outside this But most importantly, you don't want to put your foot down.
Okay.
So if you feel like you're going to put your foot down, increase your throttle and go out.
Right out. Okay.
I don't care if you hit my cones.
Okay.
Don't care at all.
Okay.
I just don't want you to put your foot down.
Okay.
The number of times that I put my foot down when I was first beginning to ride, it was a bad experience. I hurt my foot and I had to sit out for a while.
Oh.
So yeah, don't put your foot down. So let's real quick here. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you one. I'll demonstrate real quick. So I'm on my approach now, and you don't have to stop here, but just so I can talk to you. As I roll forward, I'm going to keep in mind that I want to make it so that I look where I'm going at the appropriate time. I don't want to do it way back here. So if I look where I'm wanting to go,
Then you'll cut it short.
as I roll forward, I'm not going to look ahead just yet. I'm going to look ahead up there. I'm kind of diverging. Sorry. I'm just trying to make sure you're well armed with the tools that you need to get through. But as we get up there, when I want to turn to the left, I'm going to remember that I need to move over to the right. You probably got that already, I'm guessing, in your head. But move over to the right, close as I can to those cones, without looking at the cones, always looking where I'm going. And then I'm going to turn my handlebars and go. That's kind of my brain pattern. I'll move over to the right, turn the handlebars and go. Nice and slow. So also, DCT or not, you're always on your rear brake, right? And these slow.
Something slow like this, I generally.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. Even with the DCT, you always have your rear brake covered. When I say on, I don't mean pressure. Yeah. So always, whenever we're in these exercises, I'm always covering the brake, and I would expect it the same with the DC. Any bike without a clutch, because you want to be able to stop on a moment's notice. All right. And then the other way. Is that clear as mud?
Yeah.
Okay, just check.
I'll give it a try.
What's that?
I'll give it a try.
Okay, hold on. Just remember, head and eyes first, handlebars, and keep your feet on the pegs and ride out if you have to. Nice and slow.
Just adjusting it into the rain mode.
Into the what?
I have like a rain mode, so it's
Okay.
very insensitive, the throttle.
Okay.
So that way I can control it a little better.
I have a quick thought here.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you using your front brake a lot. Are you comfortable, excuse me, with your rear brake? You know what, let's just go through this once. Let's see. Just remember, don't put your foot down. If you have to, ride out. Hit the cones, I don't care. Yep, okay, I gotcha. So what would really help you is to actually completely stay off your front brake for all of these exercises.
Okay. All right,
What that
I'm
mean?
gonna ride around and-
What's that?
I'm going to ride around and get set up again.
Okay, cool. Got to go a little slower on that turn. You probably realized it, but you got to go a whole lot slower
Yeah.
on that turn. Okay. It's a beautiful bike, though. My word. Nice. Let's try something. Go to the right, just real quick. I'll move the camera if it deems. I'm just curious if you have a better, easier job of training that way. Yeah. Yeah, to make that turn, you have to go a lot slower. To make that turn, you got to go a lot slower. Is the fun part. That's fine. I think it'd be helpful if I don't know how much time we've only been out here for about a half an hour, a little more. Let me turn this into a single serpentine. It won't take that long. Actually, I'm even set up in the wrong spot. When you're going through these, you don't want to go like this. Because then you're standing straight up and you're probably going to hit these cones. In fact, you're even in a better spot than I am back there. Let me set up better. I should be swinging out to here. And when I go through, number one, I'm going to be looking straight up, and you're going to start down there. So you're going to look up at the camera. Look straight up where you're going. I'm going to swing out wide as far away from that next cone as I can, if that makes sense. So when I swing in, I'm going to come in. I'm going to come in here. Does that make sense? Because the closer I get to this cone, when I'm turning in, I rob my distance. I'll show you. You probably know this. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You probably know this, but this is simulating in traffic having to get around the parked car or something that jumped out in front of you or whatever.
Right.
Okay. Start down there. Actually, you know what? You're fine. Start there and just come back like I did. Turn around at the end and come back.
Okay.
This might be a little tight, though. I don't know. We'll find out. No worries. If it's a little tight, we'll. Huh? Sorry.
This side of the cone. On this side, not the other side.
So that depends on which way you want to swerve first.
Okay.
And actually, yeah, where you are right now, just go in this way.
Okay.
And then turn here. Yeah, you go just a hair faster, and I think that might have been because they were too tight together, and you're feeling like you have to turn too quickly. Give that a try.
All right.
Because you should really be leaning. On your eyes, straight forward all the time. Let your cones be picked up by your peripheral vision. Out wide. You're too narrow. Swing out wide. Okay. You just started too narrow, that's all.
Okay.
When you start, in fact, that's why I started on this side, because generally I try to start anywhere from here all the way over to here. This is a long ways to swing out. Right about here is probably good. I mean, it just depends on how you feel. This is too close,
Okay.
because you don't have the ability to swing out. Let me get this. Go ahead. All right, yep. Okay, you're fine.
All right, fine.
Here's your biggest stumbling block. And you don't suck in it by any means. You're trying this, that's important. Your biggest stumbling block is you're looking at every single cone. Do me a favor, start from the white line right up here. Actually, start from right about here. I want you to stare at the camera, pretend there's no cones, and just weave.
Okay.
Try that. Pretend there's no cones. So you'll start here and weave back and forth in front of the camera. No cones. Look at the camera. Camera the whole time. Stare at that camera. Keep it swinging and swaying. Stare at the camera. There you go. You got it. Keep going. All you need to do is swing and sway a little more.
Okay.
And you didn't even look at the cones, right?
Just like on the corner of my eye.
Okay, I mean, so be it. But right now I was trying to get you to forget about the cones. Get yourself...
I was really focused on the camera.
Awesome.
I was really trying to look at that.
Well, it looked better. Try it again.
Hey, who knows? Maybe the blind squirrel can get that itch.
There you go. Lean it. Lean it. There you go. Lean it. That last little dip was awesome. Do that. There you go. Turn those handlebars. Lean it. And now I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I know I said earlier you're going too slow, speed up a little bit. Now you're a little too fast.
Okay.
But that's good, that's good. So just keep on doing the same thing. Focus on the camera, ignore the cones.
Okay.
Swing and sway. Much wider, much wider, much wider. Swing and sway. I'm guessing the cones are intimidating you a little bit still.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
Let me run it again. And
'Cause
so I'm not leaning enough.
Absolutely not leaning enough, but more importantly, not going out wide enough.
Okay.
And that's what I want to, that's what I'm trying to, I was going to pull the cones away so you can just bring yourself wide. You know, you don't want to be uncomfortably wide because you don't want to feel like you're going to drag. I can't see you going wide enough where you're leaning far enough to drag your pegs. That's just probably not going to happen is my guess. But in slow speed exercises, the only times when I've seen people drag their boards or drag their pegs is one, when they're really comfortable with their bike and the exercise and they're doing extreme leans and they're dragging their pegs. Or two, when they grab the front brake or whatever and they drop their bike. Very rarely do I see somebody scrape their peg or board when they're uncomfortable with their bike. And why? They're not leaning far enough to do it.
Well, I was feeling pretty good that day, and I was leaning hard.
So I guess my point is, I mean, like you don't have the drop guard, so I don't want you to scratch up your bike, but you have a lot more room to lean.
Okay.
And I want you to feel comfortable with the leaning and coming out wide. Because in reality, the importance of that coming out wide comes into factor when you're trying to get around somebody on the street.
Right.
If you don't come out wide, you're not going to get around them. So yeah, give it a try.
All right, let me give it a try.
Yep. Out wide, yep. Look up here all the time. Out wide, wide, wide. Yep. There you go. Getting better. Getting better. Wider, much wider. Less speed, more wide. There you go. Get it up, get that thing going wide. Sorry, I was in your way there. Just realized that. So if I stand on this side, maybe he tends to go from that right-hand side to begin with, so we'll see. Maybe I'll be out of the way. Yep, he starts out wide, good. Good. Wide, 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 good. Yep. So you started really wide and that was good.
Okay.
And then, I don't care if you skip 2 cones, that's not the point here. The next turn you did was a little narrow, but it worked. I guess the thing for you to focus on is to, number one, keep it a constant speed if you can, because the more you change your speed, that disrupts the rhythm of your riding and your bike. But keep it nice and wide. And really in this particular exercise, most people would say you're never going to be straight up and down. You're always going to be transitioning to one side or the other, almost always.
Okay.
So constant speed, swing out wide, and focus in front of you.
Okay.
I'm seeing some progression here.
Oh,
this is cool.
Good, good, good.
Yep, yep, wide, yep.
Better?
Oh yeah, yep. And you're right at about that max speed. I wouldn't go much faster than that.
Okay.
Focus on that, getting that bike out wide and leaning it. You're good. Cone's starting to bug me, but I told him to ignore the cones, so I don't care if he hits them. Right now what I want you to do, is what you're working on, swinging it wide. Yep, yep, you're getting there. Yep, the reason why you're going a little past the cones is because you're going a little fast. You're getting there. You got to find that happy medium of speed. So part of the reason when you're swinging out wide, you are doing that most times. You can use this thing out a little wider, but I think you're okay where the stage you're at.
Okay.
But the reason why you're missing some of the cones is because you're going sometimes a little fast.
Okay.
So technically you could go faster, but you need to be leaning a lot more and swinging out a lot more. At your comfort level right now, I always keep it, find that happy medium. What you were doing at the end there might have been just a touch fast.
Okay.
Slow it down just a little bit, but I have no other criticisms.
All right, well, yay.
Okay, want to try it one more time and see if you get the end on a good note? And then we'll move to the U-turn. There you go. Slow it down, slow it down. Try that again. At the very end, did you feel yourself getting a little faster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can feel it, that's all that matters.
Okay.
You want to try it again or do you want to move on? It's up to you.
Let's move on.
Yep, cool. 27 feet wide.
Uh-huh.
My guess is you can probably do that. If you find that intimidating, no worries. We'll work on it.
Okay. Well,
I put this in here in case you wanted to. It's up to you. This is an 18-footer.
okay.
So
Okay.
so the easiest thing to do for right now, until you're comfortable, is ignore those 3 cones in the middle.
Okay.
This border on the outside is your goal. That's what we're focused on. So this is going to be roughly the same speed as you were your focus was over there. You could probably go a little slower. You know, I would probably keep it the same speed because this is still the same sort of leaning, and this is when you're going to have to lean again. Not as much, well, no transitions on this one. There was transitions on that one. So when you're coming in on your left-hand turn, you're going to be, for the purpose of using all your space, or I probably should say, using the space that you need, because whatever you feel comfortable needing, for the purpose of that, you would want to hug this side. Actually, you know what, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say you're going to want to aim for this cone to begin with. So when you're coming in here, I'm going to be probably pretty close to this wall, riding in, aiming for that cone. And in this exercise, I'm going to say you're allowed to look at that cone until you get close enough where you're ready to turn. But that's the only cone you're going to look at.
Okay.
Very briefly. As I'm rolling in, I'm looking at that cone because my brain is telling me I want to shoot for that cone. When I get close enough where I'm ready for me to turn, probably going to be right about here for me. We'll have to see how you feel on your distance. I'm going to look, not this way, I'm going to look this way, all the way back, as far as you can. Some people, if your neck prevents you, totally understand that. But the further you look back, the tighter your turn will be, and sometimes we need tight turns. So as I get to here, I'm turning around my head, head and eyes. And of course, the very next thing I do is turn the handlebars, lean the bike, turn here, and most likely you're going to feel most comfortable coming through here and coming around here. Pretty simple.
All right.
I'll do it both ways for you.
Okay.
Just in case you feel like trying to go for an 18-footer, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, a man has got to know his limits.
So I'm approaching, looking at the cone, turn my head and eyes. Simple enough. Want to go for the 18-footer? Head and eyes. Other side. Same idea. Shooting for that cone. Turn my head and eyes. Simple, right? Do it. Your head and eyes right here. And then look around. Yep, good. Yep. Okay, when you get up there, when you get to that cone and turn your head, you should be able to see me.
Okay.
Try that.
I got closer.
You did. The reason why you're not turning why you're turning a little wider is because when you get to that point and turn your head is ending up looking right about here.
Yeah.
Turn all the way around. Assuming your neck can do that. Good, all the way back here. Yep, yep. See? You were there.
Almost.
Are there. Head and eyes. Do it again. There you go, all the way around. Perfect. You know what? That was awesome. You know what you did?
I killed your phone.
No, I don't care about that. You know what you did? Watch this.
I don't.
And that's exactly when you hit the cone.
I totally did.
Look at me. I couldn't care. Don't care about tones. You can squish them. Don't care. Because that was awesome. Yep, all the way around, all the way around. Come on. Good. Don't matter. Head and eyes. All the way around, all the way around. I think the cones are a distraction to you. There you go. Keep looking. I don't know why you look like you're disappointed, huh?
I thought I was going over.
Okay. Right now, two most important concepts for you. Head and eyes where you want to go. That's what you just started doing. That's beautiful. And don't put your foot down. I couldn't care less about the cones. If you are still working on a 27 foot, I prefer that you look back and run over the cones, as opposed to you look over there and are successfully able to do the exercise.
Okay.
Because eventually, when you're looking back, you will get it. Good, look back all the way, all the way. It's tempting. Head and eyes, get that down, looking good. Keep going, yeah. Right now I'm wanting you to focus on getting your head and eyes. Oh, and by the way, it's not just a matter of getting your head and eyes back around, it's a matter of how quickly can you do that too. And this particular turn doesn't require a whole lot of lean, but it does require you to snap your head back and look where you're going.
Okay.
So. Yep, all the way around. Yep, keep going. Yep. What was that all about? Just all of a sudden, snaps in him. Got it. Now, that could have been chance, but I think you're really progressing. I think you should do it again.
Well, let's see what we can do.
Remember, snap your head. Look back.
Okay.
And the moment, and I don't mean hurt yourself, don't do that, don't put your neck out, but the moment you look back down at the ground, let's just not do that. I won't even talk about that. Your peripheral vision will catch everything that you need on the ground.
All right, here we go.
Good. Yep. Okay, I hesitated saying this because I think you're doing fantastic, especially with your head and eyes. The reason why you didn't make that turn, and again, I don't care about this because I'm loving your head and eyes. You didn't commit to the turn right away. But I don't care about that right now. Your head and eyes are beautiful and I love it. Keep doing, keep going. Yeah. Talk about not committing, you said. That's what I laughed at. It's awesome when you see what you need to work on. I love how you said that. You knew it right away. A little too slow. It was a little slow on that one. When you go that slow, it's tough to lean. And you got to lean in this exercise a little bit. So I don't know if you noticed, and it was just a random thing. The reason why you struggle on that one, you went a little slow.
Yeah.
When you go that slow, it's really hard to lean, and you got to lean a little bit on this exercise. I say you do a couple more times and then switch it to the other direction, because you're doing good with your head and eyes. Keep your head and eyes going.
Okay.
Yep, all the way back around. I think I caught a glimpse what you're thinking about, and this is completely normal. When a person who's practicing slow speed exercises sees cones, not only do they get adrenaline rush and go, oh, it's cones, I can practice, but sometimes they'll also think to themselves, I want to stay inside the boundaries.
Yeah.
And what happens to that is that as soon as you realize you're about to hit a cone, you look at the cone because you don't want to hit it.
Yeah.
And then what happens? You hit it.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to suggest. Forget those cones out there. Pretend they're in your peripheral vision. This one, of course, you're using to shoot for, and that's fine. Don't care about the cones. If you feel like you're about to hit cones, just keep going. Hit them.
Okay.
Don't try to avoid them. But use your head and eyes. Commit to the turn. See, the thing is, I'm telling you that now, that's a little more advanced tip because you're getting more comfortable with your head and eyes. But once your brain told you, okay, I didn't commit soon enough, there's a cone right in front there, I know there is, so I look at that, don't, just keep going. Ignore it. The cone.
That's easier said than done, right?
What's that?
That's easier said than done.
Yes, but if you remember to snap your head and keep your head snapped, it won't be a problem.
Okay. That's the key. Head stay.
And I totally agree, it's easier said than done. And you know what the answer to that is, right?
Well,
Practice.
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 Yeah.
And not just seat time, practice.
Right.
There's a difference. Yep, all the way back. All the way back. I'm beginning to think, I don't know if there's something that would really strike your vision and grab your attention. I need to put it right here. As soon as you get to that cone, I'm going to put it there so that you turn and go, whoa, what's that? I'm serious. You're doing excellent with the head and eye, but sometimes you come back and look at the cones again.
I think what I'm doing
Okay.
is when I hit the turn, I start to turn, and I get my head over, but then I'm like, what's right there? And I kind of like cheat my eyes down a little bit, and then I kind of lose the lean.
You know, I see where you're coming from, and sometimes I feel like I'm doing that on the street because I'm more concerned. But to be honest, this sort of stuff, I'm not going to be doing, well, usually I do a little 18 foot or whatever. What you're doing out here is preparation for the street. You know what? I don't know. When I'm doing my exercises, they're a little more extreme. I don't usually do that kind of stuff on the street. So I don't really care if I hit cones. I agree with you. If I'm on the street, I'm going to be careful of that curb. I don't want to hit the curb. It's going to knock me over. But I don't do the same sort of things on the street that I do on the exercises. I do them more extreme in the exercises so I can prepare myself. If I'm going to do a 17 or 18 foot U-turn on the exercise, not worrying about the cones, that means I can easily do a 24 or 27 U-turn on the street. So I would say, you know what, I say just keep going, because you want to try to go the other way? That might be work for you? Split it up?
I'll give it a try, but I'm much more comfortable going left.
If you want to do a few more left, just to get yourself, I'm fine with that.
All right,
I'm here for you, so
all right, well,
go for it.
Give it a couple more
Yep.
left and
Yep. It's actually pretty common. Yep, look all the way around. You should be looking at me. Hold on. It's fine. You're taking my cones for rides. So, continue to focus on that head and eyes.
Okay.
You are turning your head and eyes, but when I'm standing here, I'm seeing you looking down here a little bit still. Yeah. And if you told me, actually all I can do is like this with my neck, totally understand. And then there's other techniques to help compensate for that. But if you can do this, do it.
Yeah, I can. I've been doing yoga. I can do it.
Whichever way you want to go.
No, we'll give it a try the other way.
Okay, so that
Second one in.
1, 2, third one
Third
in.
one.
I wouldn't shoot for the corner, because then when you focus on the corner, you tend to, not you, people tend to commit a little too late and they'll move beyond the barrier. That's why I say about the second one from in the end.
Okay. Give it a try.
Yep. And I'll stand over there and I want to see y'all head nice. In fact, I'm going to hold a sign up and you better be able to read it. There you go. Yeah. Where did that come from? Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, I'm a one-time wonder. Holy shit.
You know what it was? You were looking at me just about the whole time.
Well, actually, the sad part, once I realized I was going to make it, I was like, Fred, I got you.
I did see that. I was trying to be nice, but I did see that.
I was like, I got you, Fred. I'm not going to hit you. I see you, but I'm not hitting you.
Do it again.
All right.
Right here. Right here. Stare at me. Say. Second time in a row. Do it again. That's what happens when you look, well, not at me. I'm not that cool, but the way you're supposed to go. How does it make you feel?
Kind of,
What's that?
you know, that's probably the tightest return I've ever done.
That's pretty awesome. You know what? I want to see you do that 2 more times, and then we're going to switch directions again. Because I'm having a strange feeling, either you're really progressing quickly, which is awesome, or your right side's stronger. So let's find out. Or you're just finally watching me. There you go, all the way around. Oh. That's okay. Remember, when you get that feeling, what do? With me, I'm gonna let the clutch out a little more. With you, put your foot off the brake and throttle it.
Yeah.
Because that, I would prefer to see you run out of the exercise than to put your foot down.
Oh yeah, I would rather too.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, keep going. Good job. Look at me. All the way around, there you go. Keep going. Yeah,
I was looking at you.
that's right. That's awesome. You were looking perfectly. The reason why you didn't make that is because you didn't commit soon enough.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's fine. Head knives. Just finished up a practice session. Ellen was out here with a fun DCT motorcycle. Interesting experience for me. I've never really been around an automatic transmission motorcycle. Went through a few of the exercises. It was a lot of fun. I once again saw a lot of progression. I think one of the focus points he left with was really get a handle on the head knives, proper use of the head knives. And towards the end, the end of final exercise, like again, I say, lots of progression seen. So beautiful sunny day out here in Melissa, and thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon.